Hello and welcome to the Of Men, For Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lee Max. Well, all right. Come on in, get comfortable. Grab yourself a cool drink. Relax, settle in. And as J.J. Walker would say, and I'm dating myself there, prepare yourself for some audio dynamite. Yeah. Oh, Lord, let's get on with it. All right. We're not equal. What do you mean we ain't equal? You're not equal? What do you mean? Well, every man isn't equal to every other man. I mean, the only thing you have equal is opportunity. You get the opportunity to do that, but that doesn't guarantee you equal results. But that's what these females want. They want equal results. They don't want equality. They want equity. And there was two different words, and they got two different meanings. Like I said, equality gives you an equal opportunity, just like the next man or woman. Equity is guaranteeing you results. Well, hell, folks, that's communism. You ain't got to put forth no effort and you get the same results. Well, hell, there you go. That's equity right there. That's Marxism. And that's why I say we're not equal. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and we somehow got on the subject of custody and child support. And she was trying to tell me, well, men don't want custody of their kids. I was like, are you kidding me? Do you really think that there aren't a large number of men? Now, I don't know the percentages. I don't know if there's been a study of that. But there isn't a large percentage of men out there that would love to have custody of their kids so that they could see them every day, take care of them, and raise them. I did it with my girls for a while. Until my until my ex at the time showed up for a few days or a week, and I go to work one day and I come home and her and the kids and all their shit's gone. No note, no thank you, no kiss my ass, go to hell, no nothing. She just took them and split. I caught up their ass. I knew probably where she went. And we went for a little ride, her and the kids in the car, and I told her, I said, you know what, I could make you get out this truck right now, put you out here on the side of the road, drive away, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it, because I had just as much right to them kids as she did. We were still married at the time. We weren't divorced. There was no separation. There was no custody order, no child support order at that time. But I wasn't going to do that to her or to the kids. I didn't want to make the kids pawns. But she did. She just snatched them up, thought they were hers. And that's the way most females think. They think they belong to them. But anyway, after a little bit of argument there, I finally told her, I said, hey, this whole thing is, the whole court system, family court, is set up for these females, set up for women. You got the government in your favor. Did you know approximately 90% of females get custody of their children? 90%. That's ridiculous. That's gender discrimination right there. And you know why that is? It's just because culturally people think that, obviously the children are better off with the mother. Well, who's to say that's true? I can tell you there are lots of studies about single mothers and children, and how often they don't finish school and how often they wind up in jail. There's a lot of studies on that, on single moms. Why? Because there's no father in the house. There's no structure. None. That's ridiculous. That's why I say we're not equal. Speaking of equality, did you know that approximately 65% of all females fail the armed forces gender neutral physical fitness test? So they've suspended all that. I don't know if they've reinstated it or changed it or what, but I know last year they suspended that because the females were failing. You know, they want to be equal. Oh yeah, we want the same jobs, we want the same pay, we can do anything a man can do. But pass a PT test, PT physical training, PT test. They can't pass a PT test, 65% failing. See, when I was in, you had a PT test for men. It went by your age for men, and same thing for women. As you got older, you didn't have to do quite as much. You slowed down a little bit. But it was still significant. It wasn't like you could just loaf and get through it unless you were, super in shape. And same thing for women. They had their own standards, and again, sectioned off by age. But, they got to be equal. Oh, no, we got to be equal. So the military decides they're going to come up with a gender neutral, which means, obviously, there's a gap in between the two. Men have to do a lot more. They have to do more push-ups, more sit-ups, run faster. Females, not so much, because they're females. So because of that gap, that means the standards for men are lowering, so they're passing easily. And they're increased for women, to somewhere in the middle. You got to reach somewhere in the middle, because there's that gap. And they're failing at a rate of 65%, because they can't do it. Oh, but I'm a strong, independent woman. You're strong, all right. Strong-headed, bull-headed. Think you know everything. Now, are there some females out there that kick your ass? Or even could kick my ass? Absolutely. Yeah, there's some of them old big bone women, some big blocks out there, weigh about 350 pounds, that probably whoop my ass. But I'm talking about your average everyday female. Forget that. That's what drives me crazy. We watch these commercials, all these woke commercials, empowering women. I'm all about empowering women. I'm all about giving them equality. They should be equal. That means you get the same opportunity. But that doesn't guarantee you equal results. That's on you, not on some mandated set of standards that comes down from the government. CIA making woke commercials, Army making woke commercials. About diversity and females and this, that, and the other. Who the hell are they recruiting? Being in the armed forces or in the CIA or in the FBI is not a right. It's a privilege. They should have high standards. They should be picking the cream of the crop, the very best. Now, I know as being a voluntary service, it might be hard to do that. Well, then maybe you need to increase the pay. Maybe you need to have better benefits. That's why I got out. The longer I was staying in, the benefits was decreasing. They were taking away benefits. I was like, well, why the hell I want to stay in when they going to do that? There's no guarantees anymore. plus all the political stuff that was starting to show up back then. It was just getting started. There's no way if I'd have stayed in, I wouldn't have made it. There's no way. I'd have got thrown out. Somewhere along the line, I'd have slipped up or done something that was considered politically incorrect, and I'd have had to pay the price for it. Not that I was a bad leader or didn't know my job or anything like that, but I might have said something or had the wrong kind of think. And they can't have that. No. The left wants unity, but only unity when you unite with them, when you have that same kind of think. They're starting to eat their own at this point. If you don't say and do the right things, well, you're gone regardless of who you are. I tell you what, I want to say it was the Army Chief of Staff. I can't think of the man's name now. He was a former government contractor, and anyway, he's the Chief of Staff now, and he's an older black man, and he's talking about the existential threat to the United States is global warming. I'm like, you got to be out of your GD mind. Seriously? When has the armed services been worried about global warming? I don't think that's on your list. I don't think that's any of your concern. You need to be worried about preparing this country for war. That's what you do every day. You go out and train every day to prepare yourself for war. You never know when it's going to break out. You never know when you're going to get that call. I've had those calls. I've been on the tarmac waiting for a plane. Been there, done that. These assholes today, they destroying this country from the inside out. They ain't equal. They want equity. When did the military become a social project? I know when it did. It started back in the 90s with Clinton. Don't ask, don't tell. Not equal. We are not equal. Men and women are not equal. Should you have equal opportunity? Absolutely. But if you can't cut the mustard, don't blame it on patriarchy and misogyny and discrimination. It ain't none of that. Now, I don't even know yet if a female has even made it through the SEAL team training. But I'm sure it won't be long. They'll have to lower the standards somehow so that he or she be able to get through. And what does that do? That weakens that force. Weakens that unit. It doesn't become stronger, it becomes weaker. Now they got a weak link in there. Weren't able to cut the mustard. They had to lower the standards to allow that person to get through. They've been doing that for years. Allowing people to get jobs that they're not qualified for in the name of equality. Not equal. Because they got to check off a box. That's crazy. Men, you up against it. That's all I can say. Don't matter which way you turn, you up against it. It's amazing to me what is happening. Like I said, who was it? I can't remember who said it. I'm sure you guys will know right away, but we'll never be overtaken by a foreign power on our own soil. We'll be ruined from within ourselves. It might have been Reagan, but I could be wrong. Hell, it could have been Lincoln for all I know. George Washington, Jefferson, shit, who knows? Just name one of them, right? But that is a quote. Yeah, this country will never be overtaken by a foreign government on our own soil. It'll happen within our own ranks. We'll destroy ourselves. Because that's what's happening. We're so comfortable. People looking for shit to complain about, looking to cry about. They ain't got nothing else to do but be offended by something. Those are first world problems. Third world problems, they ain't got time for that shit. They worried about what they gonna eat and drink that day. They ain't got time for all this equality shit. I tell you what. This country is so blessed. And yet we squandering it. Our leaders, it's all about greed and power. That's what it's all about. I don't give a shit what they tell you. Oh, I'm here to serve. Yeah, serve yourself. Self-serve. They're killing us. But is it over? Is it hopeless? No. Let me tell you, get out there on a local level. Run for the school board, run for city council, run for whatever. If there's an office you think you can run for it, hold that office. Spout your beliefs. That's how they did it. That's how we got to do it. We got to take it back. We got to take it back, people. And I'm saying that as men. You want to live free on your feet or on your knees as a slave? Me, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Dangerous freedom, I'll take that any day of the week, as long as I'm free. Because that's what it's all about. That's what the American dream is built on, the individual. The power to be free and make it on your own and not have some tyrannical government dictating everything that happens to you in your life. And whether you make it or not, depending on your color of your skin and your sexual preference and your genetic makeup, and that's crazy. All right, my friends, I don't want to get too deep into it. There's lots that could be talked about that. I could cover many more episodes. But I'll leave that for now. Check out the media sites. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gab, Locals. Check them out. I ain't seen Parler come up yet, so I don't know. I'm almost about to write that off, but who knows. But go check them out. If you'd like to contribute, use the link where you're at. Leave me a 5-star review. Like, share, and subscribe. I have been James Rodney Lemax, and you have been great.